Greetings, Aaron Pine here. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you're having a wonderful, glorious day. In this video, I want to update everyone in their understanding of spiritual awakening, the spiritual path, and the use of what some call light language or the language of the soul or soul expression to help us navigate these times, navigate this journey that we're all on together, and help us find more of the connection within us that we're all seeking in some form or fashion, right? How do we deepen that presence within us of who we really are and help us continue to unravel and release those things that are limiting us, holding us back, keeping us in fear and restriction. And it's more and more important than ever, and I imagine will continue to become in the years ahead as humanity's facing some big challenges, some major changes in really every area of life. How can we continue to harness and tap into what's within us, the depths within us, and soul language, the expression of our soul, as a way to bring that out into this world? So let's dive in. All right. So as I said, right, there's lots going on in the world these days. Lots of pressure coming at us from many angles potentially, and we're each navigating those in our own different ways, and we're each being sort of fed many different stories, and we're each trying to find solutions. I think everyone, whether they know it or not, or depending wherever they're at in the world, they're wanting some sort of solutions for themselves, for their family, for the world at large. And it's challenging, right? How do we face and deal with these big, huge, complex things in this new complex world? There's a lot. It's a lot for anyone individually and collectively to handle. And to me, it's all there to push us to evolve, to push us to grow, to push us to tap into deeper internal resources than we've probably ever tapped into before as a human species, as a human experience. It's inviting, it's invoking, it's catalyzing new depths of change. And you see this a lot, right, in the spiritual community and spiritual discussions of how do we access and reprogram ourselves and unlock more of our potential. And this is the focus here. How do we unlock more of our potential? What is our potential? What can we do? What are we? Why are we here? What's going on in this strange interface of the human experience? And how do we navigate, right? How do we flow through life? How do we still find joy and peace? How do we find prosperity? How do we find connection with ourselves, with each other, with this planet? Lots of different elements here. And so I want to invite and open up the potential of light language, of soul language, and how to use that to keep you connected with yourself and bring that through. So let's talk about what is this light language for those of you that don't know. It's a new concept. It's an ancient concept. It's not well known, and it's definitely spreading. More and more people are exploring this and experimenting with it. And in a way, it is an experiment. It's an exciting experiment of how do we channel or bring this through, right? This stream of consciousness. So there's different perspectives on it, and I've got a whole 30-day course at activatelight.com if you want to dive in further and really start to unlock your light language. But this will start to perhaps get it going a bit or help you start to conceptualize it. So light language is a way of speaking, tone, sounds. Sometimes it does sound like other languages that are not necessarily linear. They're not necessarily tied to, say, the English language or any other human developed languages. It sounds like a language, but it's a stream of information, of energy, of concepts, of subconscious stuff, and really connection to our essence, our soul, our spirit, connection to possibly other realms. There are many that channel light language from particular realms or dimensions or beings they work with. It is a way to just connect with source and spirit, right? The universe doesn't speak in English language. It doesn't speak in Spanish or Latin or any other human language. It's much, much more complex. It's much, much more multidimensional, holographic, It's beyond those concepts, right? Our languages have developed out of our human experience and are designed for us to exchange information, emotions, feelings, and experiences with one another. It is an exchange of energy. Right now, I'm speaking English and I'm putting out energy towards the video camera and towards you guys watching, and you're receiving that, right? You're receiving this energy. You're receiving what I'm speaking. It's going through your internal systems, and you're processing it however you process it for you in your life and your reality, right? So it's an energy exchange happening, and it's me explaining these concepts to you, me explaining some of my feelings around them, my experiences, that sort of thing. Light language, soul language is similar. It's me expressing energy, but it's me expressing energy that's beyond the mental, the mind. It includes that, and it's also beyond that. It's includes my human feelings and also feelings beyond that. It includes a wider spectrum of energy. You can think of it as one of my favorite analogies is, say, radio stations, right? You know, you tune into a certain radio station, you're receiving the energy from that radio station, the music, the people talking, the host, whatever's on the show. So normally we're talking in the English channel, right? Or I normally, that's my native language. So I'm speaking in that. Now, if I were to open up and be tuned into a multitude of radio stations, you know, they're all going on at the same time. They're all being broadcasted around us. It's just whatever you dial into. Light language or soul language is me tuning in. To me, it's a broad spectrum. It's many different stations can come through, and it's stations that are beyond our normal platform of exchange, right? Most of us, 95% of the time are speaking English or speaking our native language in our country and transmitting across that particular radio station. This is opening up to radio stations beyond that are beyond the conscious mind, beyond the linear mind, beyond the logical mind of our human experience that we're normally functioning within. It is the expression of something sacred and spiritual, and I like to open up possible ideas, and everyone's experience and connections are different to what that means for them. It can be straight from whatever your concept of God or spirit or source is, as a sort of direct transmission, and there's a lot of ancient and biblical text related to that sort of thing as a gift from God. Even what's called speaking in tongues is pretty much the same, and like I said, that can be pure channeled from source or spirit, and I believe we all have our unique connection to that. We all emanate from that, kind of like reach a ray of light from that central light source. It can also be explained as emerging from different dimensions or different realms of consciousness, and pretty much in every culture, in every religion around the planet's history, and even now science is sort of starting to line up to this in different capacities. I've seen different articles here and there. There's different dimensions, right? Different realities, different realms, as I like to call them. And, goes from angelic realm, the nature spirits, the fairies and devas. There's the extraterrestrial, right? The star realms, the star beings, elemental beings, fairies, devas, gods and goddesses, spirits, ancestors, right? There's all these different realms. If you want to explore more of the realms, check out my meditation platform, innerrealmsjourney.com, where you get to create your avatar and start to explore your realms, explore the different realms of the tree of life. So to me, light language, sometimes for me, and you'll hear, I'm going to demo it in a bit here. I tap into different realms. It's different radio stations, basically, of energy that I'm connected to, that are aligned, and I have personal connections. They've developed over time with me in my own meditations and my own journey and my own expression. Mine are unique. I know many other people that speak light language. I'm blessed to be around a community of people doing this and exploring this, individually and together. And we each have our own unique kind of connections and channels. And it's really cool if you have people around you to explore this with. And I know it's not possible for everyone yet, and that's why I'm doing this to broaden it out there, so there's more and more people exploring this concept, because it is super fun and uplifting and empowering when you're in a group doing this and exploring this together. So um, again, it's bringing through information, understanding energy from these other realms, and it's very healing. It's really at its core, it's healing. It's transformative. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people now, and when I bring in that magical language, as I like to call it, it changes things for them. It unlocks things. It unravels things. It brings more of who they are through. And how does it do that? Well, my perception of it, how I see it, is that we are these infinite, really, multidimensional, multi-intelligent. I can't. It's hard to describe it. The immensity that we truly are, and that infinite essence that we are, what I like to call our avatar form, or our mythic self, our expanded self, has sort of gotten wrapped up and condensed and kind of smushed and bound up into our human experience. It incarnated, right? It came into form, into the body, into the human experience, and has had wrapped around it, almost like binding chains, all sorts of patterns and programs, much of which can be fear and limitation and lack and trauma and things we've picked up from our culture, our society, our experiences so far. All that's wrapped us up. Now that's sort of created our human costume, right? Just like an actor going on stage. An actor going on stage, they probably read the whole story. They know what's coming. They know what's up. They know how this is all going to go down. When they step on stage, they put on their outfit, their suit, whatever, their cloak, their hat. They get into their character of who they're playing, and they go out on stage, and they have to embody and live and speak and move as that character. It's kind of the same concept. Your spirit knows what's going on. It knows why it's about to go up onto the human stage, and it probably knows all the lines and what's going to go down, but it has to come in and take on this human form with all the trauma and the pains and the binds and the fears and whatever else it's picked up. And each of us is unique in that. And it's stepped into the human stage and has become this human expression. And generally, for probably about 99% of us, has forgotten who it is off the stage, right? It's just fully, I'm in this human experience. I'm going to be, Aaron Pine, I'm going to be John, whoever, I'm going to be Sally Lala, and play it out as that actor, as that role. So what does the light language do, the magical language? It begins to call and unwrap, it begins to call, unwrap the character you're playing and call in that multidimensional self that is outside and beyond the human stage. And with that, it starts to break some of those chains, right? It's like, it's like you're the human on stage playing your role with all your traumas and binds and things you've had to deal with. And it's like the director calling you from off stage and saying, hey, remember who you really are. Remember what's really inside of you. Remember what's beyond just the role. And that starts to break those binds, which is what healing to me is really about, is to unravel those things and come back to who you are and find out how to integrate that self beyond the stage, outside of the play, and bring it into the play, bring it into the human character. And that's what many call embodiment. This is, to me, what you're embodying. You're embodying that greater self, the avatar, as I love to call it, into the human experience. So let me give you an example of that and of the avatar. My avatar, one concept of it that I've developed over the years, the last few years, particularly in developing my meditation platform, Inner Realms Journey, is the Elven Wizard, right? And I'm not going to go super in depth with that, but to me, that's this magical self, this wizardly self, right, with magical powers and abilities and creativity. And the elven part is my connection with nature and my love of trees and being out in nature. And so the Elven Wizard is this greater concept. It's beyond the day-to-day life, right, of my human experience. But I've been working day to day, really playing, not working, playing, on how do I bring in the Elven Wizard concept into my day-to-day life. How can I find dress and things that align with it? Like I've got these magic rings here I talk about. Um, how do I, what choices do I make? What do I eat? Where do I like to go? What brings me joy? What excites me? What lifts me up? What expands me out of the fear and constriction that, I feel? I get anxiety. I get down and sad sometimes. I get overwhelmed with different things in my personal life and what's going on in the world. And when I can, and that's that contraction. And then when I can step into that Elven Wizard and start to bring that in, it expands me and opens up my creativity, my excitement, my joy, my play. Helps me build my projects in the world. Helps me connect more deeply with those I love. It's transformative. It's expansive, right? So the magical language, the light language that I'll be sharing, helps myself. I use it for myself as well, and for others, helps them connect to that. And part of my magical language sounds very elvish and wizardly, right? That's my sort of avatar's language coming through. And for me, it's very empowering. Even if I'm just doing it myself in the morning, or if I'm feeling down or feeling overwhelmed, it helps me shift out of that and reconnect with that power. Now, when I work with people one-on-one, in private sessions, I use that language, and it sort of sparks that. It opens that gate, and it's like, hey, you can connect with this too. You can open up this too. And I've had many, many people who I've worked with one-on-one, even if they weren't intentionally, I want have the intention to open up the light language, weren't thinking like, weren't coming to me for training per se, which I do. It starts to activate within them as it opens up. And I've seen this across the board for many people. It starts to open up because it's calling forth who you really are. Your avatar self doesn't necessarily speak in English or Spanish or whatever your native earth language is. It is so much more intelligent and vast and complex. And its capacity to express sounds, express its beingness, its essence, its energy, is beyond the limitations, the confines of just a particular language. While human languages are beautiful and I love them, and I wish I knew more, um, they're still built and developed within the constructs of the human journey thus far, right? Our language is there to help us express what we've been experiencing as a human race. The avatar self is inclusive of that and also includes much more. And so its language, its expression is much greater. And so we're working on bringing that through. So I hope that helps you understand a bit more of this. And I'm going to speak it here soon. Forget the idea. I just want to share a little bit more. So when we open this, it's coming through us. It's pouring through us. When I first began, it was, I could feel it actually shifting and opening my vocal cords, my voice, my speech. A little bit, my background as a kid, I was very soft-spoken, very shy, and not so much. It was just difficult to speak. There were some levels of fear, some restriction, shyness, but not that anything was ever diagnosed, but I was just very soft-spoken, and it was hard for me to speak clearly and bring and really expand my voice out. And I worked through that through my 20s and 30s, and trying to find my voice. And as the light language came in, that took it to another level for me. And it allowed me and showed me how to deepen my voice and expand my voice. And I could feel the power that comes through when I speak it, when I really let it rip, I'll say. And that has influenced. It's sort of cleared, if you will, energy out of my throat, out of my voice, out of my speech, and allowed me to broadcast myself more powerfully, more clearly, with more presence. And so it does have healing effects for you. and it allows you to connect with that avatar and unbinds those things, right? Those were some of my binds were around my voice and my speech. So I want to invite you to explore this on your own. Again, I've got the course. You can go to activatelight.com, and there's more videos discussing the concepts of it, different meditations and activations, and some simple processes to help you start bringing this to life for yourself. All right, so let's dive in. I invite you to receive this as a bit of a support boost, an energetic boost, and a calling to your avatar, to your essence. If it's safe for you to do so, I do invite you to close your eye and breathe and open. And there's nothing you need to think about here. Actually, we're trying not to get you to think. We're going past the linear conscious mind and receiving this. And I like to say, as much, just imagine you were, listening to beautiful birdsong or the ocean waves. You're just receiving this within you and allowing it to flow through you as you soften your body, as you breathe deeply, as you open your legs, soften your feet, soften your heart, and just keep a nice, slow, gentle rhythm of your breath. And I'll bring you back when we are finished. De nalalindra de wandravatura, ye balakuriana shabatakara, ge balondura, vreda lingishvalandura nera duodushkwana, bela nindrada de undia nella carga waka, e vasotura tura, bela chrindra da rumbele hanna la hova, vela nindela hira la quala, gendia tot curan dischiski imbaratura, della talandrotum delandeo alla cuora, iembala hieva tundra da indra da cuora chia no so, zumba la cala andura tundra de aia, ieva tura tondera caia ranora, lei si, seva nella heva dundra de rado cuora chia nella chiaia nella qua, essa nella kishwa, e barotura tura dishka ne andrata la indradora, e la caliandrala, e vatura de bendalra tutundum drederia qua, e nella chia la cuora, e embala cuora kishi andrade de andura dusvataya, denia nella cachrandra tutudura, tishiana, drebala lundo dradela la chiandere andala, iendere andura dande vatura di indiandura, iembala andare andura de rakira, e annala sandi andu dotra daira, tumde andu drala andu soya, e andura di rakaya, iembala cura nesi andara cura di tu suatatara tura. Geva cura akishia dar kuran era karo tu hron tu kura kishkan era kataka aywakat undra unkuka era konde antutura deshkunge tura etarakaya ea kanda eva tukura esamatura de enianala drena la kala komba ishianala era cura era kondrat atu kura tiskini anala kadra tura e barakishwata la kuende eva tukura ye la cura e malaendra le onda la cura qua yenda le andura ande andura mbera kienda la kadra andura de rako yenda le yenda qua ande swata la qua eva tukura kishiandra tukira tukura ye tukura embra qua kishundra indian qua ye la cura nderandra de andura dale andura tishiandra kage watara ye barokura kiena la kalandra de andura tishwanake Yevatura ti siatara tutura vat umbra watara cura e satatayan rakaya e narakwa bera tura. Invite you to take a deep breath. And imagine your cells of your body softening and opening, and the earth holding you, but as We invite in more of your essence into your being, into your body, into your day-to-day life, so that you can remember and live the truth of who you are, your entire essence and gifts, your magic, your love, and enjoy this life and allow yourself to enjoy who you are, what you are, and why you are here. So that you can see the challenges facing you and facing the world as gifts to open and unlock and unleash the essence of who you are in this world. As sacred mystical beings that have come here to play, to explore, and enjoy the gifts of the earth realm. To open your hearts, to express the love within you, and allow that to flow through your body, your biosuit, your energetic fields, and express the essence within you here in this world. And be able to be stable in that, to be centered in that, to be clear on that, no matter what is swirling around you. Take a few deep breaths, allowing that to settle in. Many of you may feel shifts and openings and energy moving through you. Well, it's very common. Just allowing things to unravel for you as needed. This is a powerful process, an evolution of our expression, an evolution in our connection with ourselves and our ability to connect with others, an evolution of how we live and interface with ourselves in this world. It's opening new potentials within our mind, how we process and experience, how we transform and alchemize. This is a powerful way to shift our state of being, our vibration, our frequency, our attunement to who we are. There are many things in the modern human culture that attempt, right, or can move us out of our own frequency, our own radio station. And this is a powerful way to bring you back to who you are, to bring you back to your radio station, to bring you back to your own energy and your own centeredness within your being. It can be woven and integrated with meditation, with other spiritual practices, with other well-being practices, and other expressions. And I go into more depth with that in my course. Again, at activatelight.com. Please do share your experiences down in the comments below. Let me know what that was like for you. If you'd like more of these video transmissions, let me know your experience with this sort of magical, beautiful thing, this beautiful expression. And I invite you to listen to it again. Come back to this video again if you need a little boost, if you need a little support, and you can't quite get there on your own. This is there for you. And if you want to go deeper and begin to really unlock and open this gift for yourself, if you're feeling that call, I highly encourage you to go to activatelight.com, and that will take you to my course. It's on Udemy, where you can sign up and go through that at your own pace. It's kind of designed for 30 days, but you can do it faster or slower or at your own rate as you feel like it. It's a powerful tool for transformation. It's super fun to use with friends. with partners. I'm blessed to be with a wonderful, amazing woman who does light language every day. That's part of her work. So we get to play with that together. I'm also surrounded right now with some beautiful friends who also are exploring it and bringing it into their work, their business. So that's really fun to have that and get to weave this in to different areas of life and see how transformative it is and how much it connects us to our essence, our joy, our play, and bring that through into all of our adulting kind of things that we're all doing. So thank you so much. I hope I get to hear your light language shared sometime. If you join the course, I also have a private Facebook group where we're getting in there and sharing it. So thank you again so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Make sure to drink some water, take a little rest if you need it. If you felt a lot shift for you, get out and sit on the grass if you need to. That will help as well. And until next video, sending you infinite blessings. Please like, please subscribe, and stay tuned for lots more magic. Thank you so much.